Alrighty, this is by request. I just got back from a soccer game, so this will be uploaded hopefully by before 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and look at three examples from one of the assignments that I gave. Now, what we have is proportional problems. They come in all shapes and sizes. Now, this is a very common one that you might even see on an SAT style question. 18-inch stick breaks into three pieces. It's going to be something. It'll be a ruler, it could be a yard, it could be a mile, it could be all kinds of things. Some's going to get broken up. But the key is it's broken up proportionally. There's a ratio right here. This ratio 1 to 4 to 5. Well, we can simply express that in an algebra situation because ratios are proportional, 1 to 4 to 5. I could do 1x plus 4x plus 5x is equal to my total, whatever that may be. And again, it could be the perimeter of a triangle, a rectangle, all kinds of stuff. Well, if it was a rectangle, I'd need four of these things, but it's going to be something. But the process is all the same. Well, this thing measures 18 inches. I'm going to put 18 over here. I'm not going to be worried about inches right yet. I'll look at that at the end of the problem. I just combine my like terms because now we're back into an algebra problem. 9 plus 1. I have 10 of these x's is equal to 18. And it makes real easy division when you're dividing by 10 because you're just moving decimal places. So I divide by 10 on both sides and I have x is equal to 1.8. Okay, now that's my algebra answer, and you got to remember, okay, now we're back into geometry class. So I'm going to take this algebra answer and say, what are they asking for? Well, they're asking for the longest piece. Well, the longest piece is going to obviously be this 5x, 5 times longer than the first one. So I just plug in 1.8 into that 5x, and that's going to equal me to 9. All right, so 9 inches is my longest piece. Let's take a look at the next one. So what we have here is, it might have been a little bit out of, I've got a new pad, new stuff, and it's finally working. My microphone is a little bit inadequate. All right, so let's take a look at this. I have similar triangles. This right here is my most important piece of information. All right, this is where I figure out how to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. I'm not looking at this and trying to guess because we can rotate these puppies. We can do all kinds of things. The second most important piece of information is right here, sim ratio. That means this is 5 to 2. So if this side length was 5, its corresponding side would be 2. Well, it's not 5, it's a bunch of other numbers, but I still have a proportion. So I know I can set up a proportion using 5 to 2 equal to something. Well, what are we looking for? I'm going to look for PS. Now, this is from left to right, okay, because it says from CLG to MPS, from big to small, 5 to 2. Big on top, small on bottom. So we want to find PS. This is my small. I'm going to call that X. Well, X is going to go on the bottom. We got to find what corresponds to PS. Well, PS is this guy right here. It corresponds to GL. GL is this length right here, so 20 is going to go on the top. I'm going to cross multiply, so I'm going to have 5x is equal to 40. And of course, x goes into that 8 times. Okay? No, 5 goes into that 8 times. X doesn't do diddly squat. It's just my unknown number. Okay? Now, that is how you would approach these type of problems. You just don't want to look at this without reading this right here. This is the key information. Otherwise, it's just luck of the draw. You could get lucky or not, but that's not what you're here to do. You're to figure these things out using the information given. Last example, you want to fill out these carefully, and you want to recognize you're dealing with two triangles. One of the most common mistakes on these is people want to associate a triangle with the trapezoid. That's a no-no. You got big triangle, little triangle. So CE, I'm going to start filling things in. 14 DE is 15, so we're going to be looking at the base here. And EB is 6. And AB is going to be my X. So take a look at this. I'm going to have two triangles. I'm going to have triangle 1, like this. And this is C, D, E. And this is 15. And this is 14. I'm going to have a bigger triangle. All right, I'll make this one blue. And this one is going to be 20. It's got to be the whole length. Remember, we're not just dealing with the trapezoid. This is going to be x. And that's all we need to know. So we're going to compare apples to apples. I'm going to compare 14 to 20. 14 to 20 is 15 to x. And there's, of course, many different ways we can, well, not terribly many different ways, a few different ways we can set this up. But when you cross multiply, it's going to end up to the same thing. And again, cross multiplication, it's just double multiplication property of equality. So we're going to knock this out. We got 14x is equal to 15 times 20. Okay. I can simplify this just a tad. I can call this 7, and I can call this 10. So I got 7x is equal to 150. And my answer is going to be 150 over 7. And in the calculator, it comes out to be 21 point something, something, something. Okay? Alrighty, so that is it for the 3 examples. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube here in a couple of minutes.